Hello. I'm going to share a book with you this morning, and it's going to help you with the math activities that we do next. The name of our book is Cumference and the Viking Map. We're well and truly lost, Her said to her cousin Radius. How I wish we had a map. They were riding through the forest in the late afternoon. Maps of Engleland are as rare as dogs with wings, replied Radius. Maybe we'll be able to see where we are at the top of that rise. Together, the two cousins rode up the hill. What of you? Exclaimed Purr. The landscape below them lay divided into 4 sections. A road ran across the countryside horizontally, while a river wound through it vertically. So here's the road, and here's the river, 4 sections. Nothing looks familiar, observed Radius, and we're running out of daylight. Let's camp on that knoll tonight. The grass there looks thick and soft. As the cousins approached the knoll, a tangle of vines and brambles blocked their path. What's this? asked Purr, pulling aside some branches to reveal a weathered wooden door. Together they pushed it open and peeked inside. In the dim light, they could make out a musty room full of cobwebs. It's a house inside a hill, cried Radius. Just then they heard the far-off sounds of raucous singing and laughter. Bad old Barnaby and his brigade band were the baddest lot in all the land. We sneak and snatch whenever we can. We're bad old Barnaby and his brigade band. In the distance they could make out a raggedy group of men marching along. Uh-oh, Radius exclaimed. Highway robbers! Quick, said Purr, grabbing a candle from her saddlebag. Get inside the house. Purr shut the door and lit the candle. The room contained a bench, a barrel, and a round wooden shield. While Radius examined the shield, Purr peered into the barrel. What is this? She wondered, pulling out an old, waxy leather pouch. She looked inside it. A map. The map was decorated with 2 unusual axes, each with 2 blades on either end of its handle. On the back was some writing. Purr began to read. I, Grids Inkle, scribe of this land, have drawn this map for Axon Yellowbeard, the Viking. He leaves it as the path to his most valued treasure, starting at 30XY. The ancient document was initialed by the Viking. Axon Yellowbeard, gasped Radius. Who is he? asked Purr. Only the fiercest Viking warrior ever. It was said he conquered most of Engleland, answered Radius. I thought he was just a legend. I guess he was real, said Purr. Ready to look for his treasure tomorrow? Absolutely, Radius said. Early in the morning, as they left the house on the hill, Purr noticed a flash of red between the 2 nearby trees. What is that? She wondered. Radius shrugged. A bird? Then they looked at the map and studied the land below. How do we read this? Here's the map, divided into 4. Well, we're right here, said Purr, as she pointed to the picture of the house on the hill. But where do we go? asked Radius. I think the numbers 3 and 0 at the bottom of the message tell us, answered Purr. There are 2 places on the map with 3, but I don't see a 0 anywhere. So here's a 3, and here's a 3. The house on the hill looks like it's drawn inside a giant zero, said Purr. Let's ride up the river to the three there. Right up to the river to the three there. They trotted along next to the bank, but didn't see anything unusual. After a while, Purr said, "This just doesn't seem right. Let's go back to where we started and follow the road out to the other number three." So follow the road instead of the river. She traced her finger along the right horizontal x-axis. So this is the x-axis. The cousins returned to the house on the hill and took the road, passing stone mile markers along the way. They stopped at the third one. Purr got off her horse and took a closer look. On the back of the marker, she noticed some small engravings. "Radius!" she exclaimed. "I've found Axon initials carved here along with another set of numbers. 2 minus 1, XY. They were interrupted at that very moment by a very loud "Achoo!" Purr and Radius looked around in surprise. "Quiet, you big oaf!" hissed a raspy voice from behind a tree. "They'll hear us!" Radius exclaimed, "It's Barnaby's gang!" Purr jumped on her horse, and the cousins took off at a gallop down the road. After passing milestone 6, they slowed to a walk. "It isn't safe to go back," gasped Purr. "But we've got to," said Radius. "You were correct. The first number tells us which way to go on the x-axis. If we want to get to the treasure, we have to return to mile 2 on this road." If the first number tells which way to go on the x-axis, reasoned Radius, the second number must tell us which way to go on the y-axis. It's like the alphabet. X comes before Y. The set of numbers is 2, -1. So when we get to the mile 2 marker, we'll go down the y-axis here. Using the guidelines, he traced the way with his fingers. So 2 and -1. Together, they galloped back down the dusty road, making a hasty turn at the milestone 2. They found themselves on a narrow lane. Only then did they slow their horses to a walk. "Did you see anyone?" Purr asked Radius nervously. "No," answered Radius. "I think we're alone." The lane ended at the opening of a cave. "This must be our destination," said Radius, checking the map. "We'll need some light in here," said Purr, retrieving her candle. While the horses wandered off to graze, the cousins entered the cave. "What are we looking for?" Purr wondered. Candlelight flickered on the damp walls of the large cavern. "I'm not sure," answered Radius, examining the far wall. Suddenly he paused. Carved into the wall were 2 more numbers. -3, -3. "That's it," he cheered. But wait, did they hear voices and footsteps outside? Purr blew out the candle. "Crouch down," she whispered urgently. The robbers entered the cave, all talking at once. "Your sneeze chased the 2 young ones off. Can't be far away. Find the pelf. Maybe they'll have gold or coins. Rest in this old cave first, and then—" A stern, gravelly voice said, "Settle down, mates. Time for a bit of shut-eye." Soon, loud snores could be heard. Radius nudged Purr. "Let's get out of here," he whispered. They tiptoed towards the cave's entrance, past 6 snoring dark shapes on the cave floor. But just as they reached the opening, Purr tripped on a few loose rocks. What was that?" asked a gravelly voice. I'm going to pause here. You'll watch the next recording to get the rest of the story.